Thieves stealing from a charitable organization.
As Cass County leads the state in COVID numbers, which school is switching back to remote learning?
Plus, semi-drivers sounding off about the dangers of driving in strong winds. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin tonight with a brazen theft caught on camera. A Grand Forks thrift store says donations were taken after being left after hours.
As Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor reports, the thieves are actually stealing from countless members of the community.
The St. Joseph thrift store in Grand Forks is one of many places community members can visit to buy gently used clothing for a good price. But on Monday evening, donations dropped off after hours were stolen from outside the building. And this isn't the first time.
Donations that get brought in after hours, generally we're not the first ones to get to go through them.
The store's executive director says they rely on donations.
Everything that is donated goes into revenues that we generate from those donations go back into our emergency assistance programs. So we've got to try to recoup that somewhere.
The money made from those donations helps people facing financial troubles, rental evictions, and food insecurities. The pandemic has caused the need for assistance to grow.
Yeah, with COVID, the times have definitely been a little different for us. We've seen an uptick in the need for emergency assistance in our food pantry services.
Munson believes the culprits may be individuals who are in need of help, but says they're going about it the wrong way.
These are programs that, we will help everybody and anybody, and if there is a need, we just ask that you go through the proper channels. In
Grand Forks, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Now, if you have donations, St. Joseph's asks you to drop them off Monday through Saturday between 9:30 in the morning and 4:30 p.m.
A Fargo man is blowing the whistle tonight, warning of a possible fake school fundraiser and kids damaging property. They were caught on camera in the 1500 block of 13.5 Street South. The homeowner says last week they had tried to sell him candy bars for a school fundraiser. When he refused, they came back, destroying his yard light. Valley News Live spoke to 5 local and different school districts today who say they don't have any candy bar fundraisers going on, and they haven't for a long time. He's concerned about the type of violence or damage that could be next if the kids don't get their way. If you need help uncovering an issue in your community, call our whistleblower hotline, and we'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. Call 237-6576 and leave your tip.
Last couple days going up and down the interstate there, it's been pretty hard out there.
Yes, the last couple of days have been difficult on the road, even more so for those who drive 18-wheelers. We found several just waiting out the wind at our local truck stops. The drivers we talked to say when it comes to staying in control, the more weight in the truck, the better.
If you're empty, the wind can catch your trailer and tip you right over. I'd rather go face the wind head on than having a side wind.
Meanwhile, a series of fires on the Spirit Lake Reservation over the past 24 hours has prompted evacuation orders and destroyed some structures near the town of Tokyo. The fire is now about 70% contained. Crews are also dealing with a fire north of Warwick. The blaze forced some people to seek temporary shelter. The Red Cross is there helping out. Jamestown Rural Fire Department Chief Brian Paulson says they're running on fumes after the last 24 hours. They've battled 3 blazes since 5 o'clock last night. Chief Paulson says he had 8 units and 24 firefighters at that scene for about 4 hours. They were called back out just before midnight south of Jamestown on Highway 281. Crews had little time to rest up when the third call came in around 4:30 this afternoon.
Just be really aware of your surroundings, and even, something small as, cigarette butts. Right now we're in the season of farmers getting things prepped and ready to go for getting in the field, and just be prepared. Bring fire extinguishers with you.
Paulson added those who may be getting into the field for the spring planting season can take even more precautions to help prevent further fires.
So let's check in with Summer now on a look at what we might be getting some kind of a break from this wind. Summer?
Yeah, right. The good news is We're already starting to see a gradual decrease in wind, but take a look at some of these past gusts from the last 48 hours. A 68-mile-per-hour gust clocked in Leeds, 67 miles per hour in Langdon and Cooperstown. Grand Forks recording a peak gust of 59 miles per hour and 56 miles per hour here in Fargo. These are some severe thunderstorm strength kind of wind gusts, so those fires spreading so easily. But as I mentioned, we are finally on the decline. Still a little bit breezy through most of the overnight period, and then falling into the teens as wind eventually calms down. But Mike, Andrea, we will have another chilly day in store for tomorrow, but I'll let you know when we will expect a warm-up coming up.
That sounds good. Thanks.
A man accused of killing his 5-year-old foster child on the Spirit Lake Reservation pleaded guilty today. 43-year-old Eric Longy is facing life in prison. He pleaded guilty to murder, child abuse, and child neglect. 5-year-old Raven Thompson died in May 2020. Investigators found her on the floor in the basement of his home in Tokyo. Investigators also found her 7-year-old brother in the back of a vehicle at the home, the victim of non-accidental trauma. Longy's wife, Tammy, is set to go on trial in June for the same charges. Police say they're noticing gang activity from a theft ring they've seen before, the FELONY Lane gang. Officers say they know of 5 incidents last week in both Fargo and West Fargo where windows were broken and purses were stolen from vehicles parked at fitness facilities. Police urge you not to leave your valuables in your vehicle and call them if you see any suspicious activity.
COVID cases are rising nationwide as doctors fear a 4th wave. In North Dakota, Cass County is leading the state in rising cases, and at least one school in the county is pulling students out of the classroom. Valley News Team's Aaron Walling joins us live now to break down the numbers. Aaron?
Thanks, guys. Numbers in Cass County here were the highest in the state yesterday at 124. The only other day Cass County has broken 100 cases since February 10th was last Thursday. Shanley High School in Fargo has decided to go back to distance learning until after Easter break. In Cass County, cases jumped from 26 on Sunday to 124 on Monday. The largest increase was in the 20 to 29 age range. 2 days ago, that number was 4. Yesterday, 31. For the next age range down, 10 to 19-year-olds, they had 4 cases 2 days ago and 17 reported yesterday. All other age ranges have increased too, with the exception of people 80 and older. Now, where numbers are increasing, Shanley High School has decided to return to remote learning until after Easter break on April 6th. Shanley's principal, John Spees, sent out an email to families saying they have seen an increase in COVID cases at the schools, with each grade being impacted. He also stated that there is a possibility that most students could be considered a close contact. Spees says that this decision to temporarily close the schools is a necessary step to stop the spread of COVID and preserve future events like prom and graduation. Principal Spees attributed the increase to it likely being that students unknowingly spreading the virus at school and activities. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Aaron.
Sanford Health is now offering COVID vaccines to all patients 16 and over at all Sanford locations in North Dakota. Sanford has vaccinated close to 300,000 people across the state. The goal is to get 70% of North Dakota's population vaccinated as quickly as possible.
By being able to vaccinate anybody who could be a carrier, we're able to help decrease that transmission, whether it's young people or elderly people.
Adults will receive either the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. 16 and 17-year-olds will receive the Pfizer vaccine. And in Clay County, health officials say they only have the Moderna vaccine. So 16 and 17-year-olds there for now are out of luck. And that's not their only issue. Clay County Public Health only received 300 first doses of the vaccine this week. That's about a third of what they received last week when fewer people were eligible to receive a shot. You can visit valleynewslive.com to see how you can sign up when it is your turn.
The present and former governor of Minnesota teamed up to get their COVID vaccines side by side today. Governor Tim Walz and former Governor Tim Pawlenty both got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine today. They both strongly encourage residents to get the vaccine.
There are numerous streams of vaccine, whether it's your local doctor at your local clinic, whether it's a local pharmacy, maybe a chain, maybe it's at the Walmart. There are state sites set up like this.
Getting vaccinated is not just Minnesota nice, it's Minnesota smart.
Governor Walz also said the state has given more than 2.6 million shots, and today everyone 16 and older became eligible to receive the vaccine. Pfizer says it's now hoping to manufacture 2.5 billion doses of its vaccine by the end of the year. The company will start a phase 3 trial in the U.S. on a freeze-dried version of its vaccine next month. And here's some advice. To stay on top of the latest COVID vaccine-related information, use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's right on the homepage of our website. Or you can open your phone camera and point it to the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up.
Day 2 in the trial against former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, bringing graphic testimony from witnesses as young as 9 years old and compelling testimony from an off-duty firefighter who says she believes she could have helped George Floyd as she stood just feet away as officers knelt on him. Camila Bernal is in Minneapolis with the latest.
There was no medical assistance on scene, and I got there and I could have given medical assistance.
An off-duty Minneapolis firefighter who witnessed officers kneeling on George Floyd said she was not allowed to help.
I had already assessed that he had an altered level of consciousness. What I needed to know is whether or not he had a pulse anymore.
Turning into a contentious cross-examine with the defense.
Could you describe Mr. Floyd as a small, slim man?
Overruled.
Yeah, it appeared to, with 3 grown men on top of somebody, it appeared that he was small and frail. But I know that not to be
there's
true,
no
obviously.
question.
I was finishing my answer.
And triggering a warning from the judge.
Do not argue with the court. Do not argue with counsel. Answer the questions. Do not volunteer information that is not requested.
Day 2 of the trial also bringing graphic testimony from a teenager who shot video of the incident.
You could see in his face that he was slowly not being able to breathe. His eyes were rolling back.
And a 9-year-old who described what she saw.
It felt like he was stopping his breathing, and it is kind of like hurting him.
For Valley News Live, I'm Camila Bernal.
If you or someone you know have student loan debt, stick around. We'll tell you what's being proposed that could help when it comes to paying it back.
And look at this beautiful sight. The flags not looking nearly as hard as they were the last couple of days. I'll have your hour-by-hour wind planner and another chilly day for tomorrow up ahead, but I'll also let you know when we could see 70s return in our 7-day forecast.